ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו. We are about to celebrate again this year Pesach, the anniversary of the Exodus from Egypt. But the Sabbath before, Shabbat before Pesach, is called Shabat Ha Gadol, the Great Shabbat. Why is that called the Great Shabbat? The Baal HaTurim says the following. God had instructed our ancestors to select a sheep that they were going to offer the day before Pesach, and at night eat that sheep cooked directly on the fire, a barbecued sheep. However, they had to select it a few days before. What was the miracle that happened? The miracle that happened is that the Egyptians did not react negatively, didn't do anything about it, because after all, the sheep was one of the Egyptian gods, and their god was going to be sacrificed, and they didn't react against it. They didn't react aggressively against our ancestors, and that is why it's called Shabat Ha Gadol. My wife went to a yeshiva called Yeshiva of Crown Heights, and the principal of that yeshiva was Rabbi Joseph Baumel. He on one opportunity suggested something different. He says, you know why it was called Shabat Ha Gadol? Because it didn't do any harm to anybody. It didn't do any harm to the Jews. It didn't do any harm to the Egyptians either. Because the 10 plagues that God had sent before in order to force the exodus from Egypt, they all did something against the Egyptians. The Jews did not suffer. There was darkness. Well, the Jews didn't suffer from the darkness. Only the Egyptians suffered from that. And the last plague, which was probably the most terrible one, that all the firstborn died, including Pharaoh's firstborn. And maybe that is the straw that broke the camel. He said, get out of here. He practically threw our ancestors out of Egypt because of what happened to him. But when it came to the selection of a sheep in order to offer it as a sacrifice, nobody suffered, neither the Jews nor the Hebrews. So this is why he said it's called Shabat Ha Gadol. Which makes me think, there are some instances that are really win-win situations. Everybody benefits by it. Sometimes we think that there must be a sum zero result. Somebody loses, the other one wins. There is a certain amount of energy in the universe, but no matter what you do, it's an even situation. It's a sum zero situation. No, but in spiritual things, in social events, there can be win-win situations also. And it brings me to think about the state of Israel, because Shimon Peres, the former president of Israel, always thought that Israel can be a locomotive. It can really be the one that will propel everybody toward better living, economic success, better hospitals for everybody, scientific advancement. Instead, many of the Palestinians and the Arab neighbors, what they want to do is destroy the state of Israel, when it could be really a win-win situation. There is enough land for everybody to go around for everybody. Today you don't need that much land. Today you can grow in a different way. Shimon Peres used to say, Israel is very rich in history, but very poor in geography. It's a few thousand square kilometers. That is what Israel is. So Israel cannot grow horizontally. Israel can only grow vertically. It can grow emotionally, it can grow spiritually, it can grow scientifically, and as he said rather, it could be a win-win situation. There could be a common market, just like there is in Europe. There could be a union in the entire Middle East, where Israel would really be a force for development. So it all depends upon us. What is it that we are going to underline? Are we going to underline our superiority by pushing somebody else down? Are we going to count our victories by defeating others? Or are we going to go for a win-win situation where everybody in the area is going to benefit? I certainly hope that sooner or later we will opt for that, and peace and understanding will really reign among Israel and its neighbors.